What up, dude bros? I'm Frank. This is a video review of the Nerf Fortnite Compact SMG. This blaster by Nerf is a flywheel-powered semi-auto internal magazine-fed blaster, which is loaded sort of like the Mega Magnus, and it also kind of looks like the P90. Let's get into it. Included is the blaster and darts. This blaster runs on 4 AA batteries and are installed as shown. External overview of this blaster, starting up at the front. There's no in-strike barrel lug, but there is a comically large flash hider. Above that is an in-strike tactical rail right here, so if you want to put on a red dot or an optic, you totally could. And down below is the magazine. This is the coolest part of this blaster. This is an internal magazine, not an external box magazine, meaning it's built into the blaster, it cannot be removed like on a Strife. To load, you pull open this door, which reveals the feeding lips right there. Then you can grab your darts, these are standard Nerf Elite darts, and shove them in like that. The internal magazine holds 8 darts. Again, the magazine is built into the blaster, it's not removable like on a Strife, but it's internal, which is pretty cool and very different than a Strife. And it's worth noting there is an electronic lock right here on the door, so you're not able to leave the door open to reload while you're shooting. When it's open, the rev switch is deactivated. Moving on, back to the trigger. The trigger pull feels pretty normal. This is a mechanically operated semi-auto system that feels very similar to the Strife. One trigger pull, one shot, and the trigger pull is pretty smooth. Again, it feels similar to the Strife. Below the primary trigger is the rev trigger, being flywheel powered. Of course, you want to hold that for a moment before firing. Above the trigger, over on this side, is the battery tray. You remove the single Phillips screw and then you load in your 4 AA batteries. Being a flywheel powered blaster, of course, this blaster does not work if you do not install the batteries. Now down to the grip. This is kind of a wonky grip. It is not as wonky as a real P90. P90 has a very particular grip that's very unique. This feels nothing like a real P90. It feels more like a traditional grip. It is on the smaller side. I have very long fingers and I'm a little bit cooped up, but not by much, especially considering it's a thumbhole stock. So overall, it's a fairly comfortable grip. It's a super wonky blaster with weird ergonomics, but the grip is not unacceptable by any means. And back to the stock. This is a fixed in place, non-removable, non-adjustable stock. There's no hidden compartments or anything else to point out. That is an external overview of the Fortnite Compact SMG. Now I'll show you the blaster firing. Shooting standard Nerf Elite darts. A little bit faster. Operating this blaster went just as expected. I did not experience any jams and malfunctions. Loading the magazine is a little unusual and takes some getting used to, but it fed very consistently. And after I got used to it, loading it is really not that big of a hassle. It is new and weird at first, but you will adapt to it after a few reloads. That being said, it is nowhere as fast as reloading an external box magazine if you already have loaded magazines next to you. To compare this blaster to others, I put it up on my chronograph and achieved an average velocity of 70 feet per second, which is smack dab on that elite par of 70 FPS, so it's shooting perfectly average. That's the objective information I can provide on this blaster. Now to my personal opinion. My personal opinion is a little scattered on this one, mostly because of the philosophy of use here. I don't really care for internal magazines like this. If you have such a low capacity, you might as well make it a revolver, in my opinion, so I can have a hot barrel on my target while I'm reloading the other empty barrels. When you open up the access door, you deactivate your ability to fire this blaster in unmodified form, which is kind of annoying. Granted, you can scavenge more easily than a magazine-fed blaster, because if you pick up a few darts off the ground, you pop open the door, you fling them in, and then you're hot. You're ready to go again, compared to a magazine-fed blaster where you have to eject the magazine, then load it, then put the magazine back in, which is a lot slower if you're only trying to load in like 2 or 3 darts at a time. But for the scavenging role, I still think the revolver is a better option because those barrels are exposed and they're way easier to reload. So my personal opinion on this one is meh. It's not really that impressive, but it doesn't do anything wrong. So it works smoothly. It doesn't jam or malfunction, and it has average firing velocity out of Hasbro. That is the best we're gonna get. Now to the question to buy or not to buy. If you're a competitive Nerfer, I think external box magazines are just a more practical choice nowadays. In the early 2000s, a blaster like this could have been effective, but nowadays you'll just get stomped by people with more ammo and shooting much faster than you. In modern Nerf, that's how you win. Fling more foam than the other guy, you'll get more hits than them. It's just odds. So it's a well-executed internal magazine. It works as intended. I just don't really care about internal magazines. I think external box mags are just better. So to competitive guys, no, I don't think this is the right blaster for you. I think this blaster is great if you're a Fortnite fan and you want a real-life blaster to fling foam in real life instead of virtually, and you happen to really be into the P90 from Fortnite, this kind of looks like a P90, not really. But Fortnite consistently messes with the proportions of their blasters, so it's not that far off compared to the other Fortnite blasters. So if you're a Fortnite guy and you're trying to fling foam, there's no reason not to buy this blaster if you're really into the cosmetics. But if you're a Fortnite fan and you want to effectively fling foam, there are better Fortnite blasters that are more battle effective. Choose almost anything with an external box magazine. You'll be able to reload faster and fling more foam and get more hits. So that's my review and opinion on the Fortnite Compact SMG. If you're interested in purchasing one of these, I'll put a buy link in the description box below. That concludes this video. Thanks so much for watching, bros, and as always, stay tactical.